What's
Hey,
up,
everybody.
everybody? It is Thursday, February 19th, which is my daddy's birthday. It's also the constant MTG live stream. I'm your host, Jared, and I'm with my other daddy, but only on the weekends, Ian. Ian, how you doing, buddy?
That's me. I'm good. I'm good. I'm here with Jared, my host with the most. And also, little known fact, Jared is the original I Love Turtles boy. He's grown
I
up,
love
he grew a
turtles.
beard, he grew a beard, and he still loves turtles.
Yeah, I joined a secret society and needed to conceal my true identity, so the beard was the best I could do.
It's probably, I mean, it looks good on you. It looks good on
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, little known real fact is if I shave my beard, I look a lot like Andy Milonakis. So I tend not to do that. It just doesn't behoove me.
Yeah.
What's up, chat? What's up, Hunter? Welcome, welcome. We got a
Welcome.
we got a great episode for you, mostly because we're opening mail, and I friggin' love presents. It's like a present to me. It really is my daddy's birthday today, Ian, and my birthday is on Saturday. Could you believe it?
I can, because your wife may or may not have asked me what to get you for your birthday,
Oh,
um,
that's
because
good news. That's real good
because
news. I like that.
because she didn't know what to get you, wink,
Mm.
wink, in a
Mm.
certain genre of presents. Um, so it was all her idea, though. But yes, I know it's your birthday.
Hopefully, it rhymes with Levised crack lopus. What do you
That
think?
took me way too long. I'm still
Womp
jaded
womp
from
womp.
I'm still jaded from Zach's awesome draft night the other night, where he just went completely ham sandwich, and like decimated a man or lady, could have been either, in a turn. That was, I mean, I clipped it. And I clipped it, Zach, just so you know, I clipped it before you said to clip it because it was so epic. I just didn't know I couldn't contain myself.
It
But no, it's not a
single-handedly
Black
the
Lotus.
the single-handedly the best turn of Magic I've ever had.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's
Yeah.
our guy. Go check that out on stream. And actually, that was a perfect segue to last time on stream. Couple of notes here. We got multiple streams a week now. So our head producer Zach is streaming Magic every week. We've been doing good with that. Zach, tell
Mhm.
them what nights you're streaming and what you're up to.
Yeah, so I am currently streaming on Tuesdays. We do rough draft. Tuesdays 8 p.m. Central Standard Time is when we're typically doing that. It's been a lot of fun. You guys get to watch me lose a lot of games, but it's fun regardless. And Hunter will always get, it's always on a Tuesday, and then we have like a meetup game still on Wednesdays at our work, and Hunter still gives me shit every single Wednesday, like, oh man, terrible games last night.
That
I
sounds
love it.
that sounds on theme. Hunter, aka our literal most active chatter at all times, huge supporter of us here on YouTube. So thanks for making sure that the griefing transcends the digital space and makes its way into real life. Also, just a shout out to Ben Kibo, who's in chat, another person that is newer to our community, but has also streamed at least once, under the constant MTG flag. Um, he works at a local game store, and he is an awesome dude, and a pretty damn good Magic player too. So we're super excited to have him be a part of what we're doing here. And yeah, thanks for jumping in. Also, get him a squelcher if taken completely out of the context of Magic the Gathering. I don't know. You just want to go around saying that. Uh, in
They're
random
they're
places.
poking the bear. They're poking the bear, Ian. I know exactly what this is. They're trying to rile me up. It's
They're
not going
trying
to
to
happen
rile
tonight.
you.
It ain't happening. And I have 2 pieces of mail to open tonight, and I actually don't know what they are, but I don't think there's a squelcher inside. But it would be pretty awesome if there is. And I promise myself,
You
and
know,
I
you
prom
know, you know, I have a hexing sculpture, right? You know, I own
I
one.
all of y'all have them. Everybody's got like 7 of them. I can't get one to save my
So
life.
I purposely traded my hexing sculpture or for my hexing sculpture last game night with somebody that said that they knew you wanted one. So I found it in their trade
Huh.
list and I grabbed it just to make
So
sure
can I just shout
it's
out a
out of
really fun
unsafe
moment
hands.
from last Friday?
Yeah.
All right, so me and of course Jared and Ben Kibo was there. Ben Kibo plays out his hexing sculpture.
Oh god, don't
I
even
go
Mhm.
don't
ahead
start with me.
on my turn. I go ahead and I tutor for my hexing sculpture.
That's what's up, dude.
And you know who didn't have a hexing sculpture on the board was Jared. I
Jared.
don't know. I don't know
Jared.
why he just won't play a hexing sculpture. He hates the
Mhm.
card or something, I guess.
You know
Hmm.
what? I've been talking to my my therapist, who also happens to be my part-time second grade teacher from back in the day, and we've talked about it. And I have coping tech that I'll be utilizing tonight, so that I don't run over to my cabinet of curiosities and pull a bunch of booster packs down and open them angrily. So I feel good. I'm confident. Wusa, little ashwagandha, you're not gonna get me.
Hmm.
It's fine. I'm not even gonna look
I
at chat anymore.
I did give
It's
him a
fine.
good present, which I apologize to everybody in advance for.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
thank
we
you.
we
That
know
was
what we know
that
what
was
you
like
did.
that was an incredible gift. I was
Tell
brought to
tell
tears.
tell the audience what you got, Jared, Zach, so we can all shame you publicly on air.
Everyone can
Yeah,
blame
yeah,
me
that's
for
fine.
it. Do you have it
It's
on
on me.
you? No.
It's not on me because it's in a
Okay.
different deck, but I can go find it.
Well, I did give him
Zach,
a Maha. It's Feathers Night.
Terrible.
Ah,
Terrible. How dare you?
knowing
That's
knowing full well that it was going to go into the blight deck.
like
yes,
giving an addict drugs. You can't just do that.
it felt amazing. I was gonna buy one. It was in my cart for like $11, and then the blight deck got spoiled, and it just went to the moon. And Zach graciously gave me one. So eternal
I just
love
had
to
a
Zach.
spare laying around.
Yeah, he's got Mahas for days, you know. Okay, let's get serious here. Real quick, we talked about the streams. We talked about the new stream. Last time on stream, we talked a little bit about MagicCon,
Mhm.
which I actually think if you're interested in all at going to MagicCon in Vegas in May, go back and check out the stream. We talked about some of the events we're excited about, some of the pricing, some of the prize structure, things like that. So if that interests you, you can go back to last week's stream and check that out. Before we go to the mailroom, though, do we want to get a message from our newest sponsor?
Yeah, we can. Our newest sponsor, we are it's our second week um with our sponsor, and we want to just shout them out before we get into more of the meat and potatoes, as it were. So we're going to go ahead and take a minute to just shout out our new sponsor, Big Deck Energy. So, who is Big Deck Energy? Big Deck Energy is a local game store located in Cathedral City, California, right in the heart of Coachella Valley. If that sounds familiar, it's because that is neighboring Palm Springs and just a short drive from Joshua Tree National Park. If you're not familiar with those places, Palm Springs is Gulf Central USA. It's also where all the East Coasters go to live during the cold months of the year when they have the money to do so. Joshua Tree National Park is, and I'm from California originally, one of the most gorgeous national parks. If you like desert landscapes and just absolutely beautiful environments, and scenes and all sorts of great stuff you can do, Joshua Tree is amazing. And if you love music as much as I do, you may or may not have considered going to Coachella Music Festival, which is also right down the street. What's special about Big Deck Energy games? It's not just the games they sell, it's how they sell games in their community. Deeply community focused group of guys and gals committed to fair pricing and genuinely passionate about the games they carry. This is the kind of shop where the goal isn't to squeeze every dollar out of players, but to build a space where they want to play, they want to learn, trade, and just hang out. That philosophy stands in sharp contrast to the bigger fat cat retail entities that we all know we've been in and had to experience shopping from and playing games within. If you're headed out that way at all, make sure you drop in, say hi to the folks over at Big Deck Energy Games. It's a great side quest for anything you're doing out in that general area, of California. If you're not going out to California, which many of us may not be, you can check them out on their website, which is bigdeckenergygames.com. We're super proud and very excited to have Big Deck Energy Games as our first sponsor for the channel, for the website, constant lists. And we're even more excited to partner with a store that truly is aligned with the same philosophy that we have, which is build the community first, and the rest will follow. Thanks, Big Deck Energy Games, and we'll jump back into our normal programming. All right, Jared. So what are we jumping into now?
So I got so excited about tonight. I didn't I didn't actually share the rest of the agenda, which is we're going to go to the mailroom, which I think I referenced,
Mhm.
and then we've got a deck tech, and that deck tech is for Brenard, the Ginger Sculptor. So Zach and I both have some things to open. Mine are completely unknown because I totally forgot uh, that I even ordered stuff, and I found this in a pile of mail I had been procrastinating open for quite a while. So could be anything in
Nice.
there.
Nice.
Um, Zach, do you want me to go first on my mail? Is that okay?
Yeah, you go first, dude.
Go ahead.
I think Zach's got to get his
Yeah,
stuff out.
we've been wanting to know what you've got
All right.
for a minute.
So I'm going to do this. I'm going to open
It could
this
be
up.
it could even be a Hexen Squelcher. We
It
don't
could
know.
be.
Doubt
The
it.
first one is comes to us from Orange, California, all the way from Orange, California.
Okay.
So I'm going to open up the envelope and let's see what's inside. All right.
What is it?
I don't
Also,
know.
I'm gonna judge
What if
how
it
they
wasn't?
wrap
What
your
if it
cards.
wasn't magic cards? That would be pretty funny. Okay, it appears to be one card. That's always interesting. Whenever I get one card, I usually
Okay.
think,
Can you
oh,
just hold on? Can
it's
you just pause and can I just comment on how much I hate when people tape the card on the inside of the paper that
oh
is,
my god.
oh God, like come on.
Yeah, this
It's
is
crazy.
I'm trying to open this so I can reveal it like with decency, but I am having
Mm,
trouble here. Hold
it
on.
may not happen.
All right. Let's do that.
People, it's
The
super
painter's tape
easy. If
doesn't affect me too much, but like anything more than just like the painter's tape, that's like if they there's ways to do it.
if you are
Yeah.
a local game store and you are mailing cards to people, please just use a piece of paper, wrap the piece of paper over the top of a top loader, and then tape the piece of paper on either side of the top loader. That way I can just tear the paper and then get my card out and it won't slip out the top.
Yes.
Sorry. Huge pet peeve if you can't tell.
Massive. Massive. All right, Orange,
Let's see
California.
it.
Hope you're listening. Let's see what the card is. Okay, the
Oh God.
card is
Which
Ghoulish
impetus.
Impetus. So it's 2 and a black, enchant creature. It has all the right words, y'all. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1, has death touch, and is goaded. And whenever it dies, you return it to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. Great card. Ian,
Bring that closer to camera so I can just make sure I know how much I hate it.
okay.
Actually, I love this card. It's really good in my Ariete deck. It's really good in Ariete because I can get it back and then cast it again on another creature and take that creature over, and it's great.
It's an
That's like
amazing card. Ian, can you think of what
it's
deck this goes in?
of yours,
Yeah.
probably your bird deck.
No, as a matter of fact, it's not.
I
No.
would guess this is the Curses deck.
Yeah, you got it. This is Lind, Cheerful Tormentor. It's not a curse, but that deck
Yeah.
leans into flavor, and
Okay.
this is the right kind of flavor.
All right. I'm cool with that. I was gonna say it's not
Yeah,
a curse.
it's not a
Um,
curse,
but
but it sort of is.
it is a like detrimental aura that you're putting out there. So I get that.
And it's
That's like a $8 card. Was that 8 or $10?
let's see. Let's see what's on
You
the
know,
receipt here.
I can
$7
look it
and
up.
40 cents.
Wow. That's like
And
Ben
this
is
is
an
a
having war
entire
secret.
flashbacks to the third to the
This is
birds.
a
And
secret layer version, by the way.
yeah, I think the $7.40 is equal to like your entire Baldur's Gate collector box that we opened, right?
Stop. Stop it.
actually, no, it's
Stop
worth
it.
more.
It's worth more.
I think the Baldur's Gate box was $3 or something. It's crazy. That was the absolute worst opening I've ever done. So
It's
anyway,
bad.
Ghoulish Impetus.
It's great.
The reason it fits in curses is because it's flavorful. Curses recurs curses and passes them around the table. This does the same sort of thing, coming back to the battlefield whenever the creature dies. And so it just
Mhm.
flavorfully matches and feels really fun. That curses deck really is my my form over function deck, but it does pretty well. I've definitely won some games and
I do
made
like
some
the Curses
friends.
deck quite a bit. It was
It
fun to
is
play against.
it is really cool. I love that you built it because it's like a flavor of Grixis that I think is not traditional Grixis. But then I also love it because I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was our first YouTube stream that we deck teched and built. We like kind of built that um,
Yes.
on stream.
First or second, for sure. First or second.
One of them, yeah, and we like crashed the website like hardcore. Gave me a ton of
You
work
know,
to do. It's great.
That sounds
the
about
other
right.
thing too was my challenge to myself was to build an Enchantress deck that wasn't your typical Enchantress deck, and
Hmm.
you did the same thing with your Ariat deck. So,
Yeah.
I think Ian, oftentimes we come up with similar challenges for ourselves, and then,
Yep.
manifest them in different ways.
We are very similar, you and I, except we just play it in different colors.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. All right, second piece of mail. This one is from Springfield, Missouri. I feel like we had Springfield already, didn't we? Isn't that one of the ones that showed up a few times?
I
Maybe
don't know.
Springfield is a big Magic community there. We got some more tape on a top loader. Not
I mean,
thrilled.
Springfield near-ish to Chicago, so that, it's like a suburb, so that would make
Okay.
sense.
Oh yeah, this is a banger, y'all. This is a banger. I bought myself a copy of Alurin, thanks to Azixa, who
Um,
joins us on stream quite a bit. Uh, yeah, this card, the reason I bought this card is because I want to play it with Acerak, from Dungeons and Dragons.
okay.
So this card is 2 green green. This is on the reserve list too, so I think there's a potential, most likely, for this to spike up at some
Bring it
point, and it'll probably never
bring it
get it'll
closer to the camera so we can
yep,
see it because it's
it'll
pretty
never
far.
come back down. Any player may play a creature card with total casting cost 3 or less anytime they could play an instant and without paying its casting cost.
It,
And
is it Asrark that you're wanting to put that in? Because this Asrark's mono black.
yeah, so that's the thing, is I need to build at least a black green deck
With
that
him as like the
wants to.
secret commander.
Yeah, Secret Commander,
Mm,
Secret Win Con, because then you just
okay.
cast him infinite times and just go to the dungeon forever.
Yeah, there's a commander out there that is Golgarian tutors for creatures. There's got to be. Like,
Well, you
I'm
can
gonna look.
now you have the formidable speaker from Lorwyn. You can just discard any card and then get
Yep.
Asrark.
Yep.
Yep.
Lots of ways to
You could
tutor for creatures in green.
you could Protein Hulk out that Acerark or Acerak.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of ways to get it, but this is a pet project of mine, is make a Lurin happen. And so, look forward to that update. I'm still tooling around with it. I got to figure it out.
Now
It's a
I'm
cool
just
card.
looking to see what you could. I'm going down the rabbit hole here now. I'm gonna pull out.
I am gonna
All right.
pull this up closer to the camera real fast because I love the art by April Lee.
Dude, it's so
It's
blurry, man.
too
Beautiful.
close,
It's so
old man.
blurry. So blurry. I mean, it probably looks great to you, but good lord.
Okay, I'm sorry.
There we go. We'll pull
All
it
right.
up. We can pull it up on Constellus later. But the
Okay.
art is great. The art is great. It's like that very traditional like Tempest Stronghold era art, which is awesome.
Yep. All right, Zach, it's your turn. I got
Ooh.
2 pieces of mail. Very happy with both of them.
All right, time for me. All right, we've got a visit today from the good old offices of TCG Player. I do know what's in here, contrary to Jared. These are some pieces that we actually saw last week, but I just wanted to have them actually because I've been running with, I think, about 12 proxies in that deck. They're all cards I have, but I'm just trying to get fancier versions, and I wanted to just run them. But there's some stuff that I'm really stoked about in this package.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see it.
All right. So we have got the first 3 here. My girl Nalfeshni.
Okay.
Look what TCG Player's packaging. Look at the ink residue from the blue package.
Yeah. Yes, I've noticed that
Nalfeshni
as well.
which confuses me. Nalfeshni is a named character, not legendary.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Is it like a, you know how in like D&D there's like certain demons and stuff that are like named, but they're like a type of demon that has a name. You know what I'm talking
I've
about?
never actually looked it up though, but let me see. Nalfeshni. Oh, never mind. Nalfeshni is just a type of monster. Okay, never mind. I'm dumb.
It does sound like a name. Like,
It
I will give
does.
you that.
Yeah.
It sounds like
And
it should
this
be
would be
a
this would be
name.
such a cool card for a commander. Anyways. And
Yeah,
then we've
yeah.
got Passionate Archaeologist, the extended art frame,
Nice.
and
Nice.
then a staple that every black card should run. Fell the Profane into Fellmire. The MDFCs. MDFCs are
They're
lifesavers.
you
Especially
just
these
gotta have them.
ones. These ones from Modern Horizons 3, where you can just pay 3 life and have them enter untapped.
Yeah.
They're the best
Yeah.
ones.
Mhm.
And then lastly here, just got to pull these out the top loader.
It's crazy too because those are uncommons. Like that's still pretty bonkers.
I've got the foil etched Talisman of Indulgence here. And to match it, the foil etched Rakdos Signet. The Dan Fraser Secret Layer art, made to look sort of like the Mox arts. These have been chases for a while, and I could finally get them. So
they're so cool, and I love the Indulgence looks like the Jester caps. It's like so like it's just super cool looking. And then of course the Rakdos Signet is just cash money millionaire.
It is beautiful. It's my goal to hopefully get these even more blinged out. I've never gotten a card signed before, and it's my goal to find somewhere where Dan Fraser's going to be and try to get it signed.
Yeah. I'd be curious. Some artists, and I don't know, maybe Dan's too big in the community, but some artists you can mail them cards and they'll sign them and mail them back to you.
Some of them, yes. I don't know if Dan is one of those. I'm sure. I mean, Dan is like probably the biggest art. I would say probably the most iconic artist for Magic.
For sure. Yeah.
I also wanted to show this off real quick here. I put it in our Discord community, which you can join by joining our Patreon, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. But I got this Japanese foil etched Carrion Feeder by Junji Ito. It is so good. And now it matches the Plague Crafter in there.
Dude, Junji Ito is like, I mean, a freaking G. And the fact that there's magic cards with with Junji illustrating is like insane. It's awesome.
These are going in the sexy women deck.
Are they? Are they really?
Oh yeah. I don't know. No.
Wait, which deck is that?
I
Rat
don't have
House?
one. I don't have one. But if I ever do,
They're
those two are
going
going
in.
in it.
Oh, mama. I love it.
But yeah, that's it for mail, I think. Unless if Ian had something, I don't know if he did or not.
I do, but it's not with me, so I can't do it today. It's somewhere in
Ooh.
my house. I'm not gonna
Okay,
run and go grab it. But I
fair enough.
actually by next week I should have all of the pieces that I ordered. So next week will be, you know how it goes. You order 5 different orders and they come
Yeah.
in the span of like 3 weeks. So I have like 3 more cards I'm waiting on.
Okay.
And once I get them, I will show them next week because I think next week I am the one doing deck tech. So it actually might work out because
Ooh.
the deck I want to do for deck tech, coincidentally, are where those cards are going.
Looking
Love it.
forward to it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Before we get into our deck tech, let's talk about Constant for a minute and what our mission is. So if you've been around Magic for a while, you've probably felt it. Most MTG sites don't really match how the game is actually played. Constant Lists was built to fix that. It's fast, focused, no clutter, no wrestling with the interface, just tools that respect priority, timing, stack interactions, and the details that separate tight play from sloppy sequencing. Constant List is a player built MTG platform for deck builders, collectors, traders, and anyone who's learned the game through reps and rules calls. Manage decks, track collections, make smarter pricing decisions. Capture those rules moments that make the whole table stop and reread a card all in one place without fighting the UI. What makes it different? It's built in public. Features start with real player problems, and if something doesn't work, it gets called out. If something stays, it's because the community pushed it forward. No core a little faster and stay independent. If you're ready for MTG tools built for players who actually understand the game, take a look at constant-lists.com.
Wow, that was. Sorry, I thought I was listening to an actual commercial there. That's really cool. Thank you for that,
Yeah,
Jared.
right off the
Um,
top, right off of the dome piece, you
right
know what
off
I
the
mean?
dome, you just made it up,
Yeah.
100%.
I found that
Um,
line in a dream that I had about a hexing squelcher.
nice. Yeah, so we have a couple updates quickly to run through. Just wanted to demo some things that have come out on the site. There's a lot of stuff that's been worked on under the hood, but we wanted to highlight 1/2-ish, 3 features that we're pretty excited about. And they are in their definitely version 1 phases. There's a lot more we're going to do here. But what you'll see here, this is the homepage of Constant Lists. Pretty cut and dry. Again, there's probably plenty we could do with this front page as well, but for now, it does the job. You'll see at the top left, or I'm sorry, right hand corner, you got a little logo here. This is your profile, your profile portion of the site. And you'll notice there's a little red notification bubble next to mine. So I'm going to click there. And it looks like we have a friends section that requires our attention. So we're going to jump into friends real quick. And we're going to see that we have one friend request from somebody named Admin, which is awesome. I'm so glad that Admin wants to be my friend. So, the friend system is new. This just got put out earlier this week. There was a lot of work that we needed to do in the trade space, on the trade portion of the website, and going into trades. It really just felt like it was the time to start working on the friend system at the same time to just build it from the ground up with friends and interaction between friends in mind. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our friend admin and accept their friend request. Also, when a friend request does come through, you also receive a pretty fun little email. And the email talks about the friend request incoming and allows you to then go to the site to accept said friend request as well. So we'll hit accept. So now admin is our friend, and we can see them in our friend list. We have a couple options available to us now. So we can remove admin as our friend, which is not what we want to do. But we can also view admin's trade binder. Before we get into that, let's talk about the trade binder and how that works. The trade binder is actually a part of your collection. So one of the main aspects of constant lists that's unique in a very big way is we are trying to flesh out all the things that we wish we could do in a Magic website and have them all available. And also, you can use them or not use them and still use the website the way that you would want to use it. So if you are someone that manages a collection, that cares about managing a collection, this is absolutely the place for you because our collection section is actually pretty amazing. So before we get into viewing a trade binder, I just want to show you in collection what that looks like. So when you have a collection, there is now a new column called trade. And the trade column allows you to click on a card and add it to your trade binder. So once it's added to your trade binder, that's where this next part gets way cooler. So we're going to go back to our friend here, and view their trade binder. So we're going to click into admin, and it's going to load up admin's profile. And what we're going to see here is admin with some information about them. We're going to see how many cards are in admin's collection, how many cards admin has flagged for trade, and how many cards they have currently in their wish list. Wish list is another feature on the site that you can access a number of different ways. It's actually this little heart icon up here at the top. So you can see mine. The heart has a number 6 next to it. If I click on that, it'll show you cards that I've added to my wish list from different areas of the website. So it could be directly from a deck. If there's cards that you don't have that you know you're going to need to get, it can also be from the research page. If you're doing some browsing and you see some card that really just like rocks your world and you want to add it, you could add them from people's decks that they share to you. Same thing. If you see a card in there that you're like, man, I didn't know that existed, you can wish list it right from there. So with the wish list, that feeds into this trade system that we have set up. So we'll go back to admin's profile, and what we can see here are a number of things. So we have binder view and list view. So right now we're currently viewing admin's trade binder. So these are all the cards that admin in their collection has marked as available for trade. And we can scroll down and see what they are. And these are specific to the item that they have chosen in their collection, which this person must be special because they have the new Shadow Heart secret layers, and that apparently that we can't even have those yet. I don't know who's gotten those that I know of yet. But we have some cards here that this person has said they have available for trade. We also can change that over to list view. List view is cool. It's a little bit more condensed. It obviously shows the same information, but just with a little less fluff and a little bit just more readability. We're going to flip back to binder view. We can also see their wish list. So these are cards that we know that they have indicated. So this is we're viewing directly into admin's wish list at this point. And what's cool about it is, and this is a placeholder, so don't get too stuck on some of the things you see here. But there are priorities that you can set for the cards when you make them, when you add them to your wish list. By default, the priority set to high, but you can change that to high, low, or medium. And then on the side of me viewing into admin's wish list, there's a little handshake icon here. And what that means is that I have that card in my trade binder and they have it in their wish list. So I know that there's a card right now that they want that I already have. So it gives me some idea of what potential trades might exist out there for this amazing 15 cent uncommon that I'll probably get nothing for. But we'll go back to trade binder. The trade binder also has searchability. We can group different ways. So we can see by rarity, by color, by card type. We can also filter in a lot of different ways. So it sees the different sets that are available in the specific trade binder cards, color, so on and so forth. But what's really cool is I can hover over cards here and you'll see the word trade shows up. And what I can do here is I can click on trade. And what it's going to do is it's going to create a trade. And that trade is going to have the card that I'm looking for that they have in their trade binder and the cards that they're looking for that I have in my trade binder. So it's already built all of that out. So this is like taking everything across both sides and just making a trade and saying, admin's trade value is $2.65 and my trade value is 15 cents. So we're probably going to have to even that out. But we at least have an idea of everything that one another wants that we each have. And then from here, we can start doing some cool stuff. So we can obviously see what cards we have. If for some reason the card that they had that we added in here wasn't the correct printing, we can any of the cards listed here we can click on and change the printing of. So we can change it to maybe they actually have the Titan foil. We can change that. We could also change printings on our side as well. And then we can also add cards to the trade manually. So if there was something that they didn't have that maybe they just pulled because we're in like an LGS or something, um, we could obviously add them independently there as well. And then if we're building this trade and maybe we're not with our friend, we also have the ability as well to share, and we can send an email to our trading partner and just say, hey, these are the cards that I'm proposing we trade right now, and let's go ahead and chat about it and figure out what we want to do. Um, the other cool thing here, aside from manually entering cards, is you also can go directly into the person's trade binder on both sides. So I can go directly into admin's trade binder from here and I can find another card maybe that wasn't on my wish list, but maybe I see that I actually want, and I can add it to the trade from here. And inversely, we got to even this one out. So we might want to go in here and find a card or two, maybe closer to two, that we can add on our side to the trade to even things out as well. So we just added Ayara, and now, yeah, the trade's a little off again. So this is like as of today. These updates were posted probably about an hour and a half ago, the most recent ones. There's a lot of plans here. So just to give you an idea of some of the plans we have, obviously, what we would like to do is have a balancing system. So click a button and it would find cards in both people's wish lists that could potentially balance a trade out. Just to make it easier if you don't really care what else you get to balance it out. Um, there's also a lot of stuff we want to do around collaborative trading. So, me being on my phone and Zach being on his computer and being able to see the trade update in a somewhat live fashion. That would be something also that would be great to have. And probably a ton more. We have to do mobile enhancements for this. This is the desktop version, obviously, but we haven't optimized it for mobile yet. So that's another body of work that we're going to do. But as it stands right now, like really excited to share this. Um, Confident that this does not exist anywhere else in any other Magic the Gathering site. So these are some cool features that we're hoping people will enjoy, that they'll get use out of. and I think most importantly, are all free. Like the purpose of constant lists is really to put a great product and a great platform out for people to enjoy the hobby, manage the hobby the way that they want to manage it, but not have to pay to do that. Um, I was pushed away from multiple sites over the years because of ad gating and stuff like that, and we just don't want to adopt that model. So, like Jared said, the Patreon is there really if you believe in the platform, if you think it's worth a couple bucks to support instead of getting half a cup of coffee one day out of the month. That's as much as little as you could support us for if you want to give us a couple bucks. But just supporting us through our YouTube, through our Instagram, through all the different ways that you can get in touch with us. That's also super meaningful. And any feedback that people have about the website is taken super duper seriously. I have a never ending note of things to work on and fix and enhance. So it's a really really cool place to be right now, and we're super excited to share it with you all each week in one way, shape, or form. We'll be doing deck tech with it here in just a minute, but those are just some of the updates. Again, thank you to a number of people that are on this stream that have given feedback that has shaped this website over the past few months. Um, and especially some shout outs to some of our normal folks that are on that have pushed really heavily into this trade space and given a lot of really good context and some insight on what they think would work well for the platform. So, thanks everybody for letting me demo for a few minutes. We'll jump into deck tech, I believe, right?
Deck Tekken. Let's do
Let's
it.
do
Let
it.
me just get my Deck Tech camera going here.
All right. This is going to be fun, Jared, because you go really quick with deck tech, and I'm going to try to keep up with you on constant. So we're gonna see how this goes. First, let me build a deck. Um, and just remind me, it's Brenard, right?
Brenard the Ginger Sculptor. Let me put him right there for you. How we doing, Zach? Are we in a good spot?
Yeah, we're looking good right now.
Okay.
Cool. So I'm ready to go, dude. And I can't resize my window, so this will be a party. For the purposes of the stream. So let's get into it.
All right. I just want to make sure that you could see. I don't see my camera up yet, but I want to make sure we got that going. No worries. While we do that, I'll talk you through Brenard. So here's the story. I in a former life was a chef, and at some point I want to build all of the food related, chef related cards or commanders in Magic. And so this is my first chef to build. And it took me a while to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. And this one just seemed very charming and whimsical and kind of silly. And so I went with it. So Brenner, the Ginger Sculptor, is one green, one white, and one blue. He's a 3/3. He's a human artificer, and he says each creature you control that's a food or a golem gets +2/+2 and has trample. Whenever another non token creature you control dies, you may exile it, and if you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 1/1 food golem artifact creature in addition to its other types, and it has the food clause. So 2 and a tap, you can sacrifice it and gain 3 life. So there are a lot of different ways to go with Brenard. Some people play it as a golem deck. Some people play it as an ETB or an LTB type deck that's looking at those triggers. There's just a kind of a myriad of ways to build this guy, and I kind of did a combination. So I leaned heavy into ETBs. That was the original function of the deck, was any sort of enter the battlefield effects. I wanted to abuse those and repeat them as often as possible. Gum up the battlefield with lots of attackers and blockers to make it really hard to attack into me, and then also make it a really tough decision on my opponents to block, because essentially I want to throw away creatures by attacking with them so that they die and come back and get that ETB again. And so I did 3D print a kind of a turquoisey, sparkly deck box for this, and I have my golem creature token on the back. Actually, golem creature tokens in Magic, they need to do better with these. In fact,
Mhm.
just to touch on a little project we're working on creating our own tokens, Magic tokens, with our business card on the back. And the first token that I really wanted was a better golem token for my deck. So stay tuned for that. We'll have some details there. We won't be selling them or anything, but there will be plenty of ways to get a hold of those. And if you see us in Vegas, your likelihood of getting a free token is very, very good. So once again, we showed this deck box before. Love it. It's magnetic, keeps everything together. And we're going to do the sort of pile system for this deck. So each pile I have separated is sort of a theme. And so the first theme is going to be ETBs that are useful for this deck. And so one thing to call out when we get to lands, I just counted them while you were talking, Ian, and I'm running way too few lands in this deck, but it's actually never been a problem. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but you're gonna laugh when you find out how many lands I'm running. All right.
Okay.
All right, so the first one of these is Coiling Oracle. Coiling Oracle is sort of a low to the ground ramp piece. When it enters the battlefield, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put that card into your hand. It's not super impactful, but I needed some small 2-drops and 3-drops that did have some impact on me ramping up. This deck does ramp and does ramp a lot, which is probably why it doesn't need as many lands. So a lot of the lower costed creatures are there to ramp you. So that's the first theme. The second of these ramp cards is Wood Elves. So Wood Elves comes into play and lets you search for a forest card, which is great because you could search for a Triome or any of the land cards that have forest in them, which makes it super useful. And again, you're going to attack opponents with it. They're not going to want to block you
Yep.
because they're not going to want you to ramp a second time. So most of
Yeah.
these cards in this first pile are like that. Go ahead, Ian.
Dude, you're only 2 cards in. I'm not gonna keep going, but this, I haven't seen all the cards in this deck, so I'm gonna be getting excited as we go along here. But these are things I didn't even think about. Like, go on.
Okay. So Yavimaya Granger is another ramp piece, but it's an interesting one because it has Echo. So this is one of the only Echo cards you're probably going to see in any deck. It costs 3. When it comes into play, you search your library for a basic land, put that land into play tapped. But Echo is during your
You
next
don't,
upkeep after this permanent comes under your
dude,
control, pay its casting costs or sacrifice it. So
dude, that's
it
so
dies.
smart. It's so
It dies
smart.
automatically. So
It's
you get
so
to ramp
smart.
twice.
Just let it die.
Just let
Oh
it
my
die.
goodness. It's so cool. Okay.
Next one, Rootwater Druid, also nasty. When it enters, each opponent may search their library for up to 3 basic land cards. They put those onto the battlefield tap. Oh, they put one of them onto the battlefield tapped, and get to uh, I basically get to put their lands into play tapped for me too. So they put one of them onto tap under my control, and the rest into the battlefield tapped under there. And so they're effectively ramping twice. Zach, I keep hearing you in the background, dude. You there?
Yeah, you said root water, and so I was searching for root water,
Oh, Root
and
Weaver. Yes.
yeah,
Root
yep.
Weaver. Yep. So basically the opponents get 2 ramps, which always feels great, but I basically get 3 if we have a full table, and then I'm going to kill it again and we're going to do it again. So another great one. Fertilid, another ramp piece that y'all are familiar with, comes into the battlefield with some counters on it. You can remove those counters and search your library for land. And then when it comes back as a food golem, it comes in as a 1/1. And so you can ramp a few more times and keep the body on the ground for blocks, which is nice. Next one, Secure a Tribe Elder. Again, it comes into play. You sack it, you search your library for a basic land card. You get another Secura Tri-Belder, you sack it again. So 2 mana for 2 pieces of ramp is pretty absurd. All right, I'll stop there. Ian, thoughts so far on the ramp package?
It's really like I with what you've said here, you have so much. You have basically 6 ramp pieces, or I'm sorry, 12 ramp pieces with these 6 cards, right?
Yep.
So it's your your deck is essentially, 120 cards, right? Or whatever your land base is. It's 120, 130 cards because you're getting double value or thereabouts out of a lot of different stuff. So it's really a cool concept.
And in terms of deck thinning, which isn't as relevant in Commander, but is definitely relevant for this deck, it's running a low amount of lands. You're thinning it out by ramping a million times. And so when you draw off of this deck, oftentimes you're drawing straight up gas.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's great. This is a card. This is actually one of my potential cut pieces, but it's actually overperformed. The reason he's in here is because he's got relevant creature type, and he's low to the ground. So it's Metallic Mimic. He's 2 mana. You get to choose a creature type, and he becomes that creature type in addition to its other types. So you usually are going to choose Golem. And then each other creature you control of the chosen type enters the battlefield with an extra +1/+1 counter on it. It's essentially an Anthem effect, and there are several of these in here. It just is a really cheap one that comes in as a golem already. So I like it. It's up for cuts if I find another low to the ground card that I like better. I also just love the art, so it's a good Fiona Staples piece. All right. So then the next series of cards are the actual golem cards. And so all of these have ETB effects. Some of them aren't technically golems, but you'll see what I mean. I have all of the splicers in this deck that fit into the colors. So green, white, and blue. So the green splicer, each of them enters the battlefield and creates a 3/3 colorless golem token, which if you have Brenard out is a 5/5 trample colorless golem token, which is already amazing. And then each of them has sort of an anthem effect for all golems. This one is whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature and a +1/+1 counter on each golem you control. Um, he gets pretty out of hand pretty quickly, but again, it's just a way to pump up those golems. They have trample, and that's kind of the plan to win the game eventually is to just overrun people with a ton of trample. So he's very good. Here's a traditional splicer. This is Sensor Splicer. Sensor Splicer is 4 and a white. Again, when it comes to the battlefield, you create that 3/3 golem token, and all golem creature tokens have vigilance. Vigilance is also great. You're trying to kill stuff by attacking and blocking, and now you can do both. Next one is Maul Slicer. It's 7 mana, creates that golem token, gives all golems
Two
trample.
makes 2 golems.
2 golems. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that one does create 2 of them, and then it dies, and you get 2 more. So can't hate that. Master Splicer creates 1 golem and gives all of your golems +1/+1. Darksteel Splicer makes all of your golems indestructible.
Yo, that
And then
card is dumb, dude. I
is
didn't know that
busted.
card existed.
Yep. It also creates X 3/3 colorless golem creature tokens, where X is the number of opponents you have. So that one is likely creating 3
Yikes.
golems.
Yikes.
So, and then the best of these is pretty simple. It's just the one that gives everybody flying. And then, of course, you also
Which
have the one that gives everyone first strike.
Wing Splicer, yeah, okay. And then you have Blade Splicer.
Yep. So all of these
Nice.
serve dual purposes. I like that they themselves aren't, they are sacrificable. So you can get rid of them to get another one back. And the
Hmm.
one that comes back is a golem. So you get a Phyrexian human artificer golem food. And so it picks up whatever that keyword is and picks up all the anthem effects you have for golem. So
Yo,
the splicers,
do you think
go ahead.
Phyrexian foods are like super oily?
I think they are oil slicked to the
Mm,
max.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's hilarious. So those are the sort of actual golem cards, but you don't really need golem cards as you've seen already. I've got a few more to show you. Meteor Golem is a really important piece for this deck. This deck doesn't run a ton of targeted removal, and this one comes down for 7. Likely it's a 5/5 trample because you've got your commander out and blows up any non-land permanent an opponent controls. And you'll see when we get into synergy cards, this deck wants to make copies of creatures and tokens. And so I've won games just creating a ton of copies of Meteor Golem and blowing everything up on the battlefield. So that's a good one. Excuse me. A lot of people hate on this card now, but back when I played it in the beginning, this card was amazing. It happens to be maybe the best deck for a Solemn Simulacrum, sorry. I'm losing my voice a little bit. And so it comes down and gives you that ramp piece. So it's a 7th piece of ramp and draws you a card when it dies. And you're going to do both of those things twice with that card, which is fantastic. And
I'm
then
surprised,
another, what's that?
Jared, I'm surprised you don't have this secret layer solemn simulacrum that's got like the little woodman creating another little woodman. Um,
Oh,
it's like from an art standpoint, we play together a lot. If you all
it's
didn't
up my alley.
It's right up your alley. It's like cartoony, it's kinda silly. It's also I think it fits kinda more in the art style of this Brenard theme that you have going on.
Yep.
But I have less hate for Solemn Simulacrum ever since they started reprinting it with not just the same art every time.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that really helped, I think, helped its case out.
Yep. Yep. And so Solemn coming down as a 4/4 for 4 with trample, with all these extra ETBs and LTBs. It just belongs in this deck, and I'll probably get that secret layer version now that you told me about it. Um, Last golem for now. This one's pretty great. It comes down. It has double strike. It has ward 2. Other artifacts you control have ward 2, which is very important. There's a kind of a sub theme here of making it hard to mess with my artifacts. And its power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. So it's a double strike trampler, most likely. It's at least 2 power, but it's gotten as big as 12 or 15 power with
Wow.
double strike, with trample, with all the nonsense.
What's
So
the card name on that?
Bronze Guardian on that one.
Bronze Guardian. Man, I've never seen that card.
A
This is
lot of
why I
bangers
love
in here.
this is why I love deck tech, and selfishly just I'm finding new cards I never knew existed. That card is really dumb.
It's really good.
Jesus.
It's really, really good. It's really good. So moving right along, we're still going through cards that you want to recur, cards that care about golems. Lochiel Clockwork Scholar is an elephant artificer for 3 mana, 2 and a white. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking artifact creatures you control. And when one or more artifact creatures enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. It only triggers once per turn. But we do need that card draw to keep the engine going. And you'll see we've got a few cards like this that just give us a little card advantage. And you're pretty much going to pick up a card from this every turn. And you'll see in a second there are a few sack outlets. And so you can find ways to get a card off of each of your opponent's turn, often drawing something like 4 cards in a round. So really good. All right. The Purity Overseer Malcator. 1 white, 1 blue. It's technically a slicer, or at least it feels like a slicer because it creates that Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token. And it says at the beginning of your end step, if 3 or more artifacts entered the battlefield under your control, create a token. And so that is just a way to, if you're sacking stuff already, if you're continuing to ramp, it just gets you more fodder. More golems, the 3/3s are likely 5/5 tramples, and that's, nothing to shake your fist at, right? All right. Now we've got some removal, some green removal. We've got Foundation Breaker is 4 mana, 3 and a green. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. but actually, what you end up doing with this card is evoking it for 1 and a green and blowing up 2 artifacts and enchantments.
Love it.
Um,
Love it so much.
so it comes down with the evoke cost, it immediately sacrifices, and then another one comes down, and it's just like insane value. On the value train, this is not quite as good. Acidic Slime isn't as good of a card as it used to be, but again, if you can get it down and blow up 2 artifacts, enchantments, or lands for 5 mana total, that feels on rate for sure. It also has
Also,
death. It's got death touch. It's a 2/2
yeah,
death touch, so
Death Touch
it's
is
great on
great.
blocks and
Hmm.
attacks. It's just like you just don't want to block this thing, and you don't
Hmm.
want to attack into this thing. So it
Also,
just
if you pump it with, it gets 2/2 with Brenard, and then if you pump it with some of the other stuff you have, it can trample over somebody, but it only has
yep,
to assign 1 combat damage. So it
yep.
can trample over them for, whatever the excess is over 1 because of the Death Touch trample rules. Also, the new acidic slime that's being printed for the
Ninja Turtle,
TMNT. Oh my god, I love the art so much. I
mutagen
wanna
something. Yeah,
yeah, I wanna buy, like, maybe 2 or 3 of them just to have them because I love acidic slime. It's a card that is fond to my heart, because it was kind of top class when I started playing Commander. There weren't a lot of cards that did that, had that effect, especially in green, so, I do love it a lot.
yeah. I personally like this card. I know it's not quite as powerful as it used to be. It used to be really impactful, but I do like it, and I think it again. Some of the cards in this deck are really good because of the deck situation, right?
Yep,
Because you're
for
getting
sure,
2 of them for the price of 1.
for sure.
Um,
Yep.
I swapped out my other art for this one, and this is actually our 8th piece of ramp. So this one slipped me. Farhaven Elf, another 3 mana. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it into play tapped. Um, so we're at 8 now. So you're getting 16 land out of this deck. All right, we're going to keep going. Some card draw classics. We've got Mole Drifter. Mole Drifter comes into play and draws you 2 cards. Its evoke cost is 3, so you're going to pay 3 mana for 4 cards, which is absurd. You could also play it out for the full 5 mana and keep a little flying guy around, but most of the time you're just going to pick up your card draw and go about your merry way.
Mhm.
And then Mole Drifter's buddy Cloud Blazer is very similar. This one you don't have an evoke on, but you gain some life, you draw some cards, it's evasive. Sometimes that'll win you the game. Sometimes you don't have enough evasion out. Sometimes people keep killing Brenard, and you want to have some flyers out that can either block threats or go over the top. All right, let's keep it cruising. Diluvian Primordial is an interesting card that I actually considered not putting in this deck because it's so expensive. It's 7 mana. But when I realized just how quickly this deck tends to ramp up and have just an absurd amount of mana around, I kept it in there. And this thing is gross, y'all. So it's 5 blue blue. It's a flying 5/5. So when it comes back, it's got the flying keyword, which is important. And when it enters the battlefield for each opponent, you may cast up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from that player's graveyard without paying its mana cost. This thing's a banger. This thing can win games. It's amazing, and you're going to do it twice.
Dude,
So
that's disgusting.
it,
Again,
it's
another card I didn't know existed. And I'm gonna shout out Zach here because Zach's a big Outlaws of Thunder Junction junkie, and this is from the Commander set of Outlaws. That Outlaws has some bangers, dude. Like, there's cards in Outlaws. If you're not buying them now, I think you should.
yeah, no kidding. Again, it's expensive, but you're getting what are we getting here? 2, 4, 6, 6 cards from your
Potentially.
opponent's graveyards potentially. Just disgusting. All right, let's keep cruising. Voice of the Many. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card for each opponent who controls fewer creatures than you, which is most likely everybody. So for 4 mana, you're drawing up to 6 cards potentially if you're sacrificing it immediately. Great, simple. Illithid Harvester.
One sec,
The
dude. What is it? Voice of the Many?
Voice of the Many. Yep.
You sure about that? I don't see a card called that.
Voice of the Many. It's an elf druid. It's KHC 00077.
Voice of the Many. Huh. I don't know why I don't see that.
That's weird, huh?
Bug
Sorry,
alert.
I was muted. It's voice of many, no voice of the
A
many.
Voice of Many. Voice of Many.
There we go. That's the problem. Nope. Nope.
Got it?
Don't want that. Nope. Jared.
I'm sorry.
Voice of Many. There we go. Draw a card for each opponent. Cool. Okay. Add the deck. Let's go. Move on.
All right. So Illithid Harvester is a great one because it has kind of multiple uses here. It's basically 3 cards for one. You have the sorcery side. It's an adventure card. That one's X blue blue. Tap X target creatures. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. It's a game ender. You just basically tap out your opponent and attack through for 1,000,000. And then the creature side is incredible. When it enters the battlefield, turn any number of target tapped non-token creatures face down. They are 2/2 horror creatures, and you can't really turn them face up. So it's awesome. And you can do it twice. So Illithid Harvester is really disgusting in this deck. Both modes just incredibly damaging and brutal.
Makes me wonder why I don't have this in my Watcher in the Water deck. I'm actually going to add this to my wish list.
It's great. It's a banger. Every time I've played it, people just groan. They're just very mad.
I hear
got
it
hit with
already.
that. I got hit with that on Wednesday. It's pretty nasty.
Well, and you can also turn commanders face down, and they can't really
Yeah,
get them to the command zone. So it's
I was
got that
playing Rats and
sort of
Hakaton, so
situation.
it was Voltron, and my commander got turned upside down, and there's flickering in that deck, luckily, so I was able to get him back. But if not, then I was SOL.
You're in a bad spot for sure.
Hey, can we just pause for a minute, just
Of course.
Jared, for the stream, and just point out here that this deck is already seems very powerful and very well thought out. We're at 28 cards, and it's only $13.53 right now. So I
It's
think just with this loadout alone, for folks that are looking for like a good budget, like kind of very unique to the color scheme deck, this is like on a different level. Continue.
okay. We'll keep going. Sandstone Oracle, 7 mana. When it enters the battlefield, choose an opponent. If that player has more cards in hand than you, draw cards equal to the difference. This is an emergency card draw. It's also just nice to have out and be ready to sack it, whenever it makes sense to do so. So sometimes you play it out just to get it out there, and your real card draw moment is going to be when you sacrifice it, and you're going to do that on somebody else's turn and sort of figure out how to make it, great for you. Next one. Woodfall Primus, 5, green, green, green. Oh, Woodfall Primus is extremely expensive, but what does it do? Why is it great? Well, when it enters, destroy target non-creature permanent, and it has Persist. Oh my god, Persist in this deck is so disgusting. When this creature dies, if it had no -1/-1 counters on it, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a -1/-1 counter on it. So you get the token, you get the return, you get kind of everything, which is pretty darn disgusting. So that is another one of the 3-for-1 creatures in this deck. And the last big ETB is Fierce Empath, which is an important piece. Whenever it comes into play, you search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost 6 or more, reveal it, put it into your hand. So you're going to search out 2 6 or more costed creatures, and you're going to pick up, any number of the creatures we just went over that represent like really important kind of Swiss Army knife pieces. If you need card draw, you get the Sphinx. If you need just like a, blow up some target or removal stuff, you get the Meteor Golem. Fierce Empath does a lot of work. All right. Next up, you've got all these creatures. You're attacking into people, making their blocks terrible. People don't want to attack you. A lot of games you do end up where you're like, oh my God, I need a way to get rid of my own stuff because people have just stopped tolerating my bullshit. And so we do have some sack outlets in here. We've got a high market, which is one of the lands. Tap, sacrifice a creature, gain a life. That's one of our sack outlets.
Classic
We've
card.
got a Phyrexian Altar in here. Sacrifice a creature, add a mana of any color.
Classic.
We've also, great card. We've got Magus of the Order. Magus of the Order is 2 green, and for green and a tap, you can sacrifice Magus of the Order. Remind you, it's coming back. And another green creature. That one's coming back too. Search your library for a green creature card, put it on the battlefield, and then shuffle. Magus is dirty, dude. It's
Dude,
so crazy.
that's so good. Just the
So
value out of that.
you're going to sack the Magus, get another one. You're going to sack one of your crazy ETB creatures, get another one. You're going to search your library for a creature that's worse than the other creatures you sacrificed for your opponents. Everybody hates it. It's a good one.
And it goes and the card you search for goes onto the battlefield, which is again just
Brutal.
abhorrent. It's abhorrent. It
It's
shouldn't
so bad.
exist.
So the next one is similar. Jalira, Master Polymorphous. A little more expensive on the ability, but by the time we're doing this kind of nonsense, we've got enough mana to, for a lifetime. That one is 2 and a blue. Sacrifice another creature. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary creature card. Put it onto the battlefield, and that's what you're going to do. You're probably going to do one of these a turn, and you're going to love it. All right, so that's our sack package. Jalira, Magus, Phyrexian Altar, High Market. Doesn't seem like a lot, but again, primarily you're attacking into people and making their life miserable on blocks and making it very difficult for them to attack you. So it does work, and it works often. All right, believe it or not, the next pile is synergy. And if you thought, if you're thinking to yourself, this deck already has a ton of synergy with these cards, well, just wait. We got more. All right, so there are some game enders in here, I should say. So we'll go ahead and touch on those. But I do want to call out another land. This is Litjara Mirror Lake. It taps for blue, but if you have some mana laying around and you could tap for 2 green, blue, you could sacrifice it and create a token that's a copy of a creature you control. So either a non-token or a token, and then it enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. It's just like almost like a land that populates, basically. So that one's pretty good. All right. Now we're going to talk about Anthem effects. We've got Endray's Forerunner, which is sort of like a poor man's Craterhoof Behemoth. But in this deck, it actually sort of, it doesn't matter. It's 5 green. It's Vigilous, Trample, and Haste. And when it enters, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain Vigilance and Trample until end of turn. It's a 7/7 also, and it's got Haste. So this is a game ender. Endray's Forerunners is gross. And if you manage to be thwarted on attacks the first time you use it, well, create a token. It's still got haste, and it's still going to give everything +2/+2. So that one is brutal. This is just a very simple Anthem effect. 3 mana, artifact creatures you control get +2/+2.
Which one's that, Jared?
And that is Tempered Steel.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then this card's actually gone up quite a bit recently. I got this promo at our local game store of Roaming Throne. We're kind of moving into the double trigger creatures now. Roaming Throne is a golem, so that's amazing. It comes down as a 6/6 trample, ward 2 if Brenard is out. When it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. You're choosing golem or food. It becomes that type in addition to its other types, and it has the Panharmonicon effect of if a triggered ability of another creature you control of the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. So that means you sack creatures, and instead of 1 token, you get 2. So you're getting 2 of those ETBs. You're getting 2 golems you can attack with. These cards are some of the most powerful cards in the deck, even though it already seems like we've gone through a lot of powerful cards. Next one is the OG Panharmonicon, 4-mana artifact, and it doubles those enter the battlefield triggers as well as the token trigger. So multiple tokens, multiple triggers. It's insane. And then the last of these doublers is Starfield Vocalist from Edge of Eternities. And it's got the same thing. It's 4 mana. It's a 3/4 creature. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a trigger ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. One more thing that's interesting about these is if you double them, it gets bananas. So you can have like, 2 Starfield Vocalists out, and then you've got like 4 I mean, I don't even want to do the math. But that is crazy. All right, Ian, I'm going to stop for a second in case you have thoughts or commentary, or you just need to catch up.
I'm just speechless over here.
You're
Continue
what?
on. I said I'm just speechless over here.
All
Unlike the
right,
Starfield vocalist who's laying it down.
just singing. Always reminds me of the blue lady from The Fifth Element who's singing like the opera stuff. Anyway, Primal Vigor, 5 mana. If 1 or more tokens would be created, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. There's so many of these different cards. Primal Vigor is a little cheaper than like Parallel Lives or Anointed Procession, I think is the other
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's like the budget version of this. You also get the if 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature, twice that many counters are put on that creature instead. And that comes up every once in a while because we have a few of those cards that I showed off in the beginning that come down with +1/+1 counters or make it so all your
Mhm.
golems do.
Yeah, I mean, the
Um,
reason this one's more expensive, if you didn't if viewers didn't know this, is it affects everybody. So it is a benefit to your opponents. They get double tokens, they get double +1/+1 counters as well.
yep.
So it's kind of a, it could be a double-edged sword depending on what you're playing against. But also this could be the card that you put down to just completely run away with the game for sure.
Yeah, and even if you're concerned about other people taking advantage of this deck just takes more advantage of it. So
Yeah.
it's like you're just
Yeah.
guaranteed to net ahead, even
hmm
if people can take advantage.
Yep.
This is a great Academy manufacture deck. It's just a value card. It comes down for 3. If you would create a clue, food, or treasure token, instead create one of each. Because Brenard's ability creates food golem creature tokens, that counts. And so you're going to get a ton of clues and a ton of treasures, and that will sustain your game plan and let you keep going. Knight of the Sweets. When it comes down, create a food token. Foods you control have tap, add a green. So it's sort of like the Jahira, I suppose, does this, where you turn a bunch of your
Mm,
stuff into little tappers. Um, you also have 5 green, sacrifice Knight of the Sweet's Revenge. Creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of foods you control. And so that is, and can be and has been a game ender as well. Lord of the Rings time. Peregrine Took. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional food token are created, and you can sacrifice foods to draw a card. Technically, this guy belongs in multiple categories, including the emergency I need to sacrifice stuff. I just put it more in the synergy pile because the sacrifice three foods is just like not quite as good. So it happens though. You start creating a bunch of food tokens and you need some cards and you go there.
technically a
This,
sack outlet if you
yep,
needed it.
technically a sack outlet. Aura Shards is probably overkill for this deck. But it's pretty gross. I mean, people have wanted this card banned. This deck would not suffer much at all if we had to take this out. Whenever a creature comes into play under your control, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. It's just gross. It's
hmm
busted.
hmm hmm
But it's really not needed. It's overkill. All right. Masterful Replication. Choose one. You can create 2 colorless golem creature tokens, 3/3s, or you could choose target artifact you control, and each other artifact you control becomes a copy of that artifact. Um, both modes very helpful. I don't want to spoil it yet, but there's a creature card in here that once it dies and comes back as a golem, I've used masterful replication to copy it for everything on the board, and it's like meme worthy. And we'll go to it. We'll put masterful replication to the side, and we'll remember to come back to it. I did get real jazzed to put biorhythm in this deck. We talked about it last
Last
week
week.
before.
Yeah, last week.
Officially unbanned and now a game changer. Biorhythm in this deck is gross. I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet, but presumably I've got a lot more creatures than everybody else. And with this being sort of trample nonsense, it just gets your opponents down to a level where you could swing out and kill everybody in one turn. So each player's life total becomes the number of creatures he or she controls. I would say this deck tends to have 10 to 12 creatures on board by the time you're casting 8 mana spells. Garrick's pack leader. Whenever another creature you control with power 3 or greater enters, you may draw a card. All of your golems are going to be power 3 or greater because Brenard gives them that +2/+2. So you get lots of cards, lots and lots of cards. On the card draw engine, Tatiova, Benthic Druid, is a great card in this deck. It has landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, you gain a life and draw a card. Because we have all of those crazy ramp creatures and we have the ability to just play a ton of lands, even though there aren't many of them in this deck, this card is exceptional.
Yep, she's great. She's just so good. And I only have her in like one deck that's deconstructed right now, but she just always does work every time.
Yeah.
Like anytime, if she sticks around even for like one turn, and you're playing a land deck of any sort, you're drawing at least 2, 3 cards off of her. It's awesome. She's great.
It's amazing. Yeah, so Tatiova does work. Now we're going to get into sort of the populate theme. So populate allows you to create a copy of a token you control, and I have several cards in here that do that. The first one is really weird. It's not technically populate, but it sort of is. Enchant artifact you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchanted artifact. Then, if you control 8 or more artifacts with the same name as one another, you win the game. There are a couple of ways to do this. You can enchant, one of your big, meteor golems or one of these really high impact cards. You can also just enchant one of your golem tokens, the 3/3 golem tokens, because they all have the same name, and win the game on the spot. And so a couple of different ways to use that mechanized production. I can't say I've done the golem token version and won a game like that, but I'm still waiting for the day.
This
Um,
is this is based on your upkeep though. It does check for that during the upkeep trigger.
yep.
So you do have to you can only win during the upkeep. It's not one of those instant win cards.
Yes,
But
but this is
it
what I
is
will
still
say.
cool.
This is what I will say. You put this out, and right before your next turn, if you have several splicers out and you have a
Hmm.
sack outlet, right before your untap step, you sack all of your splicers to get a bunch of those
Hmm.
tokens, and
Hmm.
then win on upkeep. So you could kind of
Hmm.
surprise win on the
Hmm.
spot, but yes, there's definitely some risk there. I've
I
used
I
it
might have
mainly to
missed it. I might have
yep.
missed it when you were going over it, but like just specifying here, it does not matter what you enchant versus how many things you have. You can enchant your soul ring or artifact land. As long as you have just 10
Correct.
treasures with the 10 artifacts with the same name, then you win. So
Correct.
treasures, anything like that. Yeah.
Yep,
Hmm.
and I do
Yep.
run lots of mana rocks, and I do run some artifact lands as well for that exact reason. So, great point, Zach, and good reminder. All right, the next populator, Urza, Prince of Krug. Artifact creatures you control get +2/+2. So he's got the Anthem, and for 6, you can create a token that is a copy of target artifact you control, except it's a 1/1 soldier creature in addition to its other types. It's pretty hilarious to have like a Phyrexian human artificer soldier food golem token, and it can happen. So you could stack a lot of creature types on there. He's great. Again, with him and Brenard out, you're getting +2/+2 for all of your dudes. So your golems are now 6/6 tramples if you're keeping count. No, 7/7 tramples. Excuse me.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
no, that's wrong.
Well, five
They're
fives if they're the
5/5s.
1/1s,
5/5s.
and
Yep.
7/7s if they're the 3/3s. Yeah.
Yep. Growing ranks is amazing. At the beginning of your upkeep, populate for 4 mana. It's an enchantment. It just, lets you do the thing you want to do. Next one, V2 Ghazi Guildmage is a 2/2 Dryad Shaman. The first ability is 4 green, white, and you put a 3/3 Centaur creature token on the battlefield. We don't care about that, but it is useful if you need to put out a chump blocker, which this deck rarely does. But what we're really here for is being able to tap 2, a green and a white, to just populate and create a copy of a token. Next one, excuse me. City of Death is hilarious. It's from Doctor Who. It is a saga. The first stage of the saga is create a treasure token, and then stages 2 through 6 are populate. So I don't think I've ever run out of stages on this saga. By the time you get to like stage 5, you've won.
So
Druid's Deliverance actually has come quite in handy, and it's a fantastic raid. It's one of the only commons in the deck. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you this turn, and you get to populate. It's super gross, yo. It's like, yeah. I think I had a Spore Frog in its place at one point, which is also very good. But being able to populate gives you a little more flexibility.
That's great. That's a good card.
Yep.
I forgot about that card.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more real cards, and then we could talk about the mana package here and wrap things up.
Yep.
Leyline of Transformation. If Leyline of Transformation is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield, which is amazing. It lets you choose a creature type. Amazing. Creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to their other types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. This is just a way to get your non-golems and non-foods, some of the perks of having, anthem effects and slicer sort of keyword effects and things. So it is helpful. It seems a little bit lower impact in the grand scheme of things, but it is a very good card. All right. For the Common Good is from Bloomborough. It's XX and a green. And spoiler alert, a lot of times we just pay the green and make X 0. Create X tokens that are copies of target token you control. Then tokens you control gain indestructible until your next turn, and you gain 1 life for each token you control. I've paid this mostly for 0x and 1x, but if you got a ton of mana laying around, it's super powerful. I just like it if the whole table is turned against you, which is likely the case, and you need to pick up quite a bit of life and get back on your feet. So very flexible card, a lot of different use cases. Again, if you've just got a mountain full of mana, your opponents are in big trouble.
The card is. I also didn't know that card existed. I am
It's very
wishlisting it.
good.
It's really good.
So
Really good.
next is sort of 3 cards that go in my hilarious, I've won the game too many times doing some combination of this. This is the meme. So the first piece is Padim, Council of Innovation. She is, or he is, 3 and a blue. Artifacts you control have hexproof. This is very important. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control an artifact with the highest converted mana cost or tied for the highest converted mana cost, draw a card. Padim is in here just to give your artifacts hexproof so you can do the next thing or just keep people off of your back. And that next thing is Jumbo Cactuar. Jumbo Cactuar is 5 green, and we know this card. It's got 10,000 needles. When this creature attacks, it gets plus 9,999 plus 0 until end of turn. what you end up doing with Jumbo Cactuar is you relentlessly swing into people with them until somebody finds a way to kill it. Most people are going to chump block it, but when it comes back as the token, it now has trample. If you've got Padim out, it now has hexproof, and it's your killing machine. I've had, I think, 3 Jumbo Cactuars out at once and dealt 30,000 damage to the table. That was amazing. And then bringing back the Masterful Replication, you can choose the Jumbo Cactuar artifact version, the Golem, and make every artifact you control a copy of it and swing for some ungodly amount of damage, all with trample.
All I have to say is get that damn plan off my screen.
It's
Get that
so
damn
dumb.
pen.
It's so dumb.
As someone who's died to that in that deck, get it off my
Yes.
damn screen.
Get it out of here.
Hey, Hunter actually asked if you have thought about, and if you haven't gotten to it, and we just didn't get it, but nesting Dovehawk, if that's in here.
You know what? Show me tell me what nesting Dovehawk
So,
does again, because it might have
so
been
you,
in here and I had to take it out.
dude, it's really good. It's a good
Let's
call
see.
by Hunter. So nesting Dovehawk is 3 and a white for a bird. It's a 2/2 flyer. At the beginning of combat on your turn, populate. And then
Oh,
whenever a creature token enters the battlefield under your control, you put a 1/1 counter on nesting Dovehawk.
okay. Thank you, Hunter. I think I'm going to need to find a home for nesting Dovehawk in here.
If you don't have one, I've
That's
got one
great.
for you.
Please save it for me. Okay.
Yeah, and that's
Last
from
card.
is that from War of the Machines
I
Commander?
got it from March of the Machines Commander Precon. I
March of
don't
the
know if it
Machines.
originated in that deck.
Yeah, I think it did. I think it did. Just based on the set icon.
It's like a $20-something card.
Yeah,
Dang.
it's good. It's
Okay.
really good. The art's super pretty too.
All right, let's Dovehawk it. The last card before we get into mana producers, it's the only piece of single target removal I have in the deck. And it is a piece that Zach actually, when you lost to my Jumbo Cactuars, it was in my hand just in case somebody tried to do some nonsense. It's Swords to Plowshares. Swords to Plowshare isn't really for using on somebody else's creatures. It's for using on a Jumbo Cactuar to gain 9,999 life. So that's the reason it's in here. It's also great in a pinch if you need to gain, 5, 6, 7, 10 life off of a big beefy creature. But usually you're gonna pick this thing up. You're gonna get one of the creatures that searches out other creatures. You're gonna get the Jumbo Cactuar. You're gonna try to assemble the beast, and you're gonna hold this up just in case somebody tries to thwart your plan. All right,
Dang, dude.
Ian. Final thoughts before we get into artifacts and or mana rocks and lands.
Not. I mean, dude, just like I said earlier, there's just a ton of stuff in here that I'd say like 90% of what we're showing in this deck, I don't have in any of my decks. So it's just really cool to see just how someone's playing these cards in a completely different way, and also including a ton of cards that I didn't know existed, like for the common good. Like that's a really good card. I might actually just put that into my Sand Warrior deck. My Hazazon deck. Like there's just a ton of really good stuff in here. So yeah, we can jump into Mana Rocks and then wrap it up.
Sounds good. This won't take long, but we do have some Dan Fraser signets as well. So the first signet is the Simic signet. We also have the Selesnya signet. And I do have the Azuria signet, but I think the Frank Azuria signet is in another deck. It might be in Y'shtola. So I don't have the cool version of it in here. I do have the Frank Arcane signet though. And then because this deck is whimsy and weirdness, I did go with the Furby collection of mana rocks and lands. So Command Tower Furby Edition, Soul Ring Furby Edition, Chromatic Lantern. And then I did recently get this, and we talked about it on stream. My Banyan Tree is in here.
Oh,
And the
that's
rest
right.
of Yep, and then the rest of my lands, you'll notice I have some artifact lands in here. I definitely have some cool secret layer basics. I just sort of went in here and did a kind of a fashion run on my lands. And so I will just flash those quickly so that you could kind of
Mhm.
see what we're working with. Not the most expensive land package, but fun, interesting. This is a cool League of Legends arcane land. I've never watched that show. I've never played the game, but I thought the land was cool. Chocobo lands, another arcane League of Legends land, and just a few of the more expensive lands that come with the type. So forest and either island or plains. So I could use that wood elf to go get them, but not too
Mhm.
many. Not trying to go too hard in the paint on the land package, but they're fun.
Yeah.
And that's it, man. Final thoughts, Ian.
Well, no, dude, I just again love it. Love the deck. Love what you did with it. I've never actually played it. I've seen it be played from the outside. We deck tech together while you were building it at one point. So it's really really cool. Thank you for sharing it. We'll get the rest of the lands updated and added to the deck list, and we will post the deck list link for those in our Discord. If you want to check out this deck and take some inspiration from it, you can definitely do that. And that'll be linking to our site Constant Lists, which we built the deck within. And yeah, man, it's a killer setup you got there. It is very misleading because it looks so cute and you think it's going to be such a cute little deck, and then it does terrible, terrible things to you.
Very terrible things. Very, very
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah. It's become one of my
I
favorites. I
I
think
can't
Ian,
I can't say on camera what the things that that deck has done to me.
yeah. Yeah. I deserve that, I think. It fits my theme of wanting to use cards and decks that don't really have a home elsewise. I'm sort of like a homeless shelter for cards.
Hmm.
Um, and that's just how I like to play Magic. I like to find ways to use weird cards that only
Hmm.
work in that deck. And so I've realized that that is the theme.
That is something we share, you and I.
Yep. 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 Yep.
The
Well,
more
Ian, you
cards
want to
I can
wrap us
use that
out?
no one, yeah, the more cards I can use that no one knows about, the better.
Yes.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Um, Thank you again, Jared, for going through that. I know you're getting over a little bug over there, so I know you've been holding on to your voice all day. So thank you for sharing the deck and going through it with us. Thanks everybody who joined tonight. Again, it means a ton to all of us that you jump in, that you hang out with us for the evening, get to talk about Magic, like the thing that we all share and love. Again, thank you to our sponsor, Big Deck Energy Games, for all the support and just seeing the vision that we're going for here with this community. All of our patrons, thank you so much for contributing, for believing in what we're doing here as well. Just a ton of positive vibes all around, and everyone in our Discord as well. That's like my favorite place to hang out, if I'm being honest. So thank you all so much. We'll be on again next Thursday. We'll have streams posted between now and then with shorts as well. So keep a close eye on YouTube. Do the whole subscribe, please. Ring the bell, please. Like the videos, all that good stuff that we gotta say. Um, Again, just humbled that everyone's here. We're gonna continue doing this. And thanks again. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll talk to you all very, very soon. Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
y'all.